Malik. As Aditya was mentioning, AI has transformed operations across the sectors. It's not just about corporate communications or PR. All across the sectors, AI is nothing new. And the discussions all around AI, big data, ML, advanced technologies, ChatGPT is nothing new. How many of you would agree to this? AI is nothing new. A day before yesterday, Samsung has launched their latest phone. My colleague, Mr. Majumdar, was invited and he was there. The biggest takeaway was AI. The company has focused heavily on AI. They have inbuilt AI. So my point here is AI will take over across the sectors. So today we are here to discuss how the leaders in Corpcorp and PR would have to relook at their strategies, need to come up with their approaches that would complement AI and advanced technologies in a greater and efficient manner. To open the discussion, Ajey and Ina, what are some of the major transformations you've seen in last 1 to 2 years, or maybe more than that? Where has it all started from?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So I think COVID has been the reason for the total transformation, what you see, or the kind of technology change, the kind of digital transformation, what has happened. I think COVID is the main reason why this has happened, and it has happened so drastically, which was supposed to happen maybe in 10 years' time. We can see the transformation happening in 2 years. So I think COVID has been the major reason behind it.
Just adding there, the way we are living our lives today, technology is embedded in every aspect of our lives.
Absolutely.
Earlier, when we used to talk about PR per se, we knew that the media consumption, the frequency was just once a day. But now the way the transformation or the technological evolution has happened, it's about now. So strategies have to have technology embedded into it to ensure that we are talking to our customer target audiences as and when they want to hear us. It's no more a monologue that we are communicating to them, or we are just sending out a message to them. It's about hearing them, connecting with them, engaging with them. That is how the whole transformation has happened, and technology such as AI, chatbots, machine learning, all are helping PR professionals to kind of strategize in a much more unique way, which is targeted.
I get it, and I completely agree that we need to live by AI and with AI. Now, Ajey, in healthcare fraternity, doctors have been remained very, very skeptical with technology. How did you see the evolution of adopting technology, AI, now ChatGPT, or maybe many other advanced technologies? What are some of the strategies you are heavily working on?
So like what I said, like COVID has been the key transformation for the digitization. So what had happened, like before the COVID, nobody was comfortable using this interface, like connecting on your Microsoft Teams or other platforms, Zoom and all that. And doctor always wanted a face-to-face interaction, and so did the patients. It's still there, but I think because of COVID, so doctors also adopted that pretty soon. And also, like, we all have worked from home. Everybody didn't have an option to go to work. So everybody's working from home. So how we adopted so well and so fast. And the technology which has been there kept on transforming and changing day by day and became more and more better. So I think that is very, very relevant from that perspective, how things have changed. And from the healthcare perspective, so I'm with the Fortis Healthcare. So healthcare, it's going to be very critical because from the emerging technology, the data is there and analytics is there. So it really helps the healthcare professionals because the kind of data what we are getting from the patients, from the social media, from our digital platforms, we keep on collating the data. So the data becomes a tool for us, and basically it helps us in having a strategy for our PR campaigns, or maybe how do we target a particular cluster. Like, for example, like a particular sector or maybe a particular demographic in India has particular problems related to maybe blood cancer, maybe because of diabetes. Different things are happening across India. So when we collate this data and we get analytics and the kind of digital penetration what we have, so we get to know about what is required, where it's required, how it's required. So that's the way we strategize, and that's the way we have a PR strategy around it. So that's really helping us out. And also when we have a campaign which has been posted online, or maybe we have a digital campaign, because print campaigns are very limited now, and the digital platforms have become the need of the hour, and too many platforms are there. So how best we can utilize that? Because I think what Ina was also mentioning, like so many digital things have happened. So we have to penetrate the audience. We have to see what is the right cluster for us, and how do we adopt a strategy which can touch that cluster. So these are the kind of things we have to look at, and we have the analytics tools which are there, which give us the right analysis, like how the campaign is featuring, how good is the penetration. So it's on a real-time basis, so it gives you an opportunity to also, how do you change your campaign if you want to modify it in such a way that it is not touching the right audience. So that's the best way. The analytics tools, what we get, and also the data, what we have, is the key, and the way we are going to use it in a good way is going to help the PR industry to penetrate the audience and get the right kind of what you want to output out of it.
I agree, and there is a report that says globally around 60% of healthcare organizations have been at the target of cybersecurity, and then cyber attacks, my apologies. This is a major concern when we talk about technology, AI. In the sector like yours, infra, it has been really not in the very mainstream of technology, it has been pretty secluded. How are you trying to incorporate technology in your sector? And apart from that, how do you look at cybersecurity angle in that?
Well, honestly speaking, infra is primarily a very conservative sector when we talk about communications and PR. Why so? Because there is so much of confidential and sensitive data that we deal on a very, very regular basis. Cybersecurity becomes extremely important for us, and therefore things like frequently changing your password, having your cloud secured, having two-factor authentication, all these become very critical and regular. But what I see has been a very critical aspect, not just in the infra industry as such, but also from a PR and communication standpoint, is continuous awareness and education. We keep talking about these bigger words, jargons like cybersecurity, deepfake, XYZ, but do our regular people sitting across the table who are not dealing with these terms on a daily basis aware of it? Do they know what threat it poses to them? Not really. Phishing, we keep sending out emails to our, from an internal communications perspective, we send out communication around phishing emails. Now, till the time we don't really explain what is phishing, how it can really affect the data that's there sitting there on your system, how it can be critical or detrimental to the confidentiality, how it breaches the data, how it breaches privacy. There are certain elements that people within an organization, stakeholders, both internal, external, need to be educated about. So I think cybersecurity is an important tool or needs to be taken care of. But
and in most of the cases, people who are least aware about these happenings gets affected.
Yes, absolutely. And while we say least aware, it has also happened so much so that technology is new. I mean, if I have to talk about my previous organization, which was a law firm, we can understand how much of critical information sits on a system. Somebody as high as a partner or an executive partner is not so much educated on technology. So an email directing them for a OTP, for a credit card payment can actually hack their entire system. And this has actually happened within the organization. Fortunately, it was on a timely basis that we could identify and rectify the breach, and no data was lost. But what we realized it is awareness, education, and a crisis communication or crisis plan which needs to be in place so that instant rectification can be done. So I think that plays a very critical role as far as cybersecurity is concerned.
Very pertinent point, Ina. Now, Ajey, would you like to add to this? And also, what apart from awareness or educating people on how technology can impact your work, your data, what could be some of the functions, some of the strategy to actually make them aware, or let's say match the pace with technology?
Basically, like in the healthcare, we are handling the very sensitive patient data, which is very, very confidential, like the information what we have from patients' perspective. So it becomes extremely critical. So you all must be aware in the past few years, you must have seen a lot of cyber ransom attacks on a lot of healthcare organizations, including AIMS also, I think, which has happened last year. And across the globe, there have been cyber attacks. And so these are the ransom softwares which they put it in the system. After that, they demand a huge ransom to take it away and just to open it up back for the system. So that has been very critical. From that perspective, Ina has also highlighted like how do we encrypt and make sure that our softwares, our platforms are extremely security proof, and they have the right kind of encryption so that if even able to hack the system, they are not able to source the data out of it. So that is extremely critical. And regular audits also is important. Like we talked about education, the staff, everybody can't be educated on that. So regular updates, what we keep sharing to the internal comms, maybe the whatever platforms, what we have to circulate the information to the employees, that is important. Like they should be aware, like not to touch or not to open any links which seems not to be from the right source, because nowadays digital hacking and all these kind of things are happening, and it's going to continue. Nobody goes to the bank not to withdraw money, I think. So earlier we used to go with a checkbook and you withdraw money out of it, but now everything is happening digitally. So you have your password, the OTP comes, like we talked about OTPs, and the OTP can change everything. It can even, like make sure that whatever is in the bank account is going to get out if you share the OTP with someone. So a lot of cases have happened. So that's why education is very important. People have to be aware. And from healthcare perspective, because it's such a critical data because of this thing, so that cyber laws are there, so many things are there. And so many cases comes up in our healthcare, like so many deep fakes are there. So people keep talking about it. So a lot of say that we have, like I'll tell you, there were many cases where people talk about kidney donations. So there are websites from which says Fortis Hospital, and they have, please donate your kidney, we give you $300,000, $400,000. So these kind of things, so for that they want an initial deposit of maybe $500, and people pay, and they reach out to us that this has happened, this is a website, and doctors ask for a kidney, they are willing to pay us $3,000 or $5,000. Maybe it comes out in some lakhs and crores what they offer to the people who get into that. So all these things are happening, and people get into it. So we have to be very vigilant whenever it comes to us, comes to our knowledge. Our social media, SEO teams are into action to keep on looking at it, if any kind of sensitive information which is there. So we keep on complaining to the cyber cell also, which is very active, and so we have to be very careful, and training, and that is important.
So regular audits and awareness are two important things. Apart from that, in today's age, we talk about real-time customer engagement, customer experience. Your involvement with social media gets higher in these days. We talk about advertisements, campaigns that are highly into audience page, their feeds. You are right into their activities, what they're doing, what they're following. Any reference to your recent campaigns, recent advertisements where the technology played a pertinent role?
Well, absolutely. I won't talk about any specific campaign right now because nothing very, very, latest per se. But I would say that given that we have so many technology and analytic tools, data-driven PR or data-driven marketing has become the norm. It gives us real-time, customer preferences, insights, behavior trends, which helps us really, create our strategies in a way that we are directly engaging with them. Now, like I was saying earlier, it is about consuming communication, messaging now, here. And that's what chatbots have done for us. That is exactly where we are. Today, if I want to talk about any specific campaign that I'm running or a product that I'm selling, I don't really need to wait for a campaign to just run. If it's a social media campaign today, I will promote it through various marketing tools which I have available. I will directly engage with my target audience through chatbots. There are pop-ups that are happening. So there are various multifaceted tools, channels today helping communication professionals to ensure that their marketing communication campaigns are very, consumer-led. It is not, again, it's not just about what I want to communicate and once I'm communicating it, but it is about how I can modify my communication as per the consumer's preference. I'll just give a very personalized example. Today we all know that, if we are scrolling through the reels and the advertisements that we see on any of the social media channels, they actually track us to the next social media channel. If I'm talking to you right now about, say, oh, I need to really buy leather shoes, the next thing that you'll see on the pop-up in your social media feed is an advertisement for that. So that is how communication, advertising, marketing has adapted to the requirements, and it's all just a click away. So that is making a consumer lazy, and it is also spoiling them for choices.
I 100% agree. I was talking to my mother about losing weight. And next moment I opened my Insta feed, I saw the Plix Ed apple cider vinegar. So yeah, that goes with it. And you whenever talk about maybe pickles, maybe toothpaste, any other makeup product, you see many other brands ads popping up on your feeds. Ajay, in your opinion, how do you see this evolve in next 2 to 3 years? How do you see the functions of PR or corporate communications would evolve with technology?
I think AI is going to play a critical role in this, for sure. It's like, we have been all talking about AI, and what you said, like AI is listening to everything. So if so many smart gadgets at home and they're listening to you. So that's why this pop-up keeps coming up. And if you're searching, then the search engine, what they have, so it keeps on capturing your likes, dislikes, what you're looking at, what's the kind of stuff. If you search for a car, you'll keep on seeing different cars. And also they know about like what kind of car you're looking at. It's not that it's going to pop up with a Lamborghini or something else. If you're looking at a decent car, it's going to be something like that. So that's the knowledge, that's the kind of intellect it has now. And AI is going to play a very critical role in future, like you guys must have read. 3 days back, there was Google has launched Amy, which is a Google-based interactive, which is going to be consulting the patients. And as of now, the test is going on where I think they are consulting with 14 doctors and 14 patients. So they are having an interaction. As of now, it's like 90% accurate in diagnosis and the kind of prescription and other things which this platform is offering. So that's the future. Basically, like maybe as young adults or who are in the younger category might be able to adopt it in future. But I think for the older generation, being in healthcare, meeting the doctors, so people love to have that interaction with the doctor. They'll want to have that touch, that empathy. If I say I have pain in my hand to an artificial chatbot or maybe AI, so it's going to find, but until this, I'm not going to touch it. I won't get the feel, what's the pain like, what's the intensity of the pain, how it's going to react, and how doctor also is going to consult. Basically, like my mother was, I'm in healthcare, mother used to be sick, she always wanted to go to a doctor. Some other people also, if you have an old family member, they love to go and see the doctor than to have an interaction on a video or whatever. So that's important. The AI is going to transform, but the human touch, that empathy, that emotion, that feel and touch is going to be required. So it's going to transform for sure, but I think that human touch is also going to be required, and that intervention is very, very critical to ensure that the right diagnosis and everything is done.
Definitely, because after all, it's personal public relations. So that humane connection, that humane empathy, you mentioned about empathy, that sympathy, that understanding with customers, what they're saying, what they're expecting, all across the sectors will remain at its space. Do you have anything to add to this?
Absolutely, like taking on from what he's saying, today we have something like a chat GPT. It is like, a wish granted to all of us, I would say. But when you actually write something on chat GPT, this is my personal experience. While I've given commands to the best of my capability, the information I've got is very raw. I don't think I can really use it as is. I will have to use my own brains, my own understanding of the topic, my own understanding of the situation that we are in, to really modify it. So while technology is giving us a lot of, luxury of doing job maybe faster from a time perspective, but it can never be or replace the human that we are. The human brain cannot be replaced. So technology will be certainly an added advantage. Data-driven PR is going to be the new thing. It's never going back to only traditional media anymore. It is going to be more and more digital, more and more social. Today we are seeing even corporates like us, we are relying more on social media and digital media compared to traditional media like magazines, radio, and television, and newspapers. So that is going to be the way forward. But PR strategies are going to certainly change, and it's not just going to be like, I am telling you this. The next question is, how? How do you justify it? So every strategy, every point, every message that you bring onto the table, moving on, needs to be backed by sufficient insight, sufficient data that will make your strategy sacrosanct and foolproof. So I think that is what I would say is future-proofing of PR.
Definitely, and a very good point. We have 2 minutes left. In quick 2 minutes, do you somehow feel that you just said that ChatGPT is like a wish granted for us, including all of us, the veterans of the industries, the youngsters of the industry. My point here is, do you somehow feel that it's going to impact and hamper the relations people hold? Technology can somehow hamper the relation people of this industry can somehow intervene between the relations you have. Do you have a feeling that using ChatGPT or AI as a shortcut can really hamper the relations? Because it's all about relationships we have across the industries. Your view on this?
My view is like it's a good tool to use, but it'll make you dumber day by day. And the kind of knowledge what you have as an individual, when you learn something, when you get into it, that is required. And for us, it's fine. I mean, we're in a different age group, and some of the young people are also here. And for the kid, it's a problem. They have to understand what are the critical things and how they have to work around it, how they have to frame the sentences, or maybe they have to understand how they have to express something. It doesn't happen. So ChatGPT, you're going to just type something, give you an answer. So I think it's a fantastic tool to be used in a good way, but I think it should not be something which can be used for education purpose, because the kids have to get educated, they should have the right platform. So I think, in my view, it's fantastic to use these platforms, but at least you should have your own skill set and your own personal knowledge. We should be able to put you at the right, but like what Ina mentioned, like she's not able to use the content most of the time, because ChatGPT won't understand your emotions. Like in a lot of cases, like when the Malaysian Airlines crash and other things, so that CEO was in very wrong English, he was communicating with the people. But people were connecting to it. It's not to be precise or has to be grammatically correct to say something. It's
the connection, what matters?
The connection matters, the kind of touch and, I mean, the kind of emotions and the feelings which are there in the message matters quite a lot.
Yeah, so like you said, public relations, it's relations.
Absolutely.
So
when it comes to the brand image or the brand stability in what customers know about, let's say what customers know about Fortis or Roadis, we know that this is the customer and it has some trust with us. There is a connection between us. Technology can actually help it build that connection with customers. But what really matters is the relationship between the company and the customer. You were saying something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the relation. Through our communication, we are building relations. And relation can never only rely on technology. So even today, if we are sitting at home and say it's my daughter and me, if we are just scrolling on our pads, that's not relationship building. So similarly, it's for our target audience and our customers as well. If we are only using technology, we are not communicating. So that alone will not work. Technology is certainly an advantage, but we must know how to use that to our advantage and not just on technology.
This should not take over the relationship building aspect of your profession, your career. Do not let it take over in what you do. This applies across the sectors. So this can be the good takeaway from this discussion. At this note, I want to conclude this. Thank you so much, Ina and Ajey, for joining this and making time for this. Thank you so much. Back to you, Malik.